It's a brand new day. Hi everyone, glad to see you again. I hope you can see me here. Yes, hi. Hope you all are having a great weekend, and I am. The weekend is good. I'm grateful. It's been nothing but a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. So I am finally going to prepare the okra soup I've been talking about in some of my other videos. And I will start off by putting on my apron. This apron, I love this apron. It was made for me specially by a very good friend of mine. She actually handmade these, sold it, and it's beautiful. She gave it to me during I had an event, and she brought this as a gift. It's in the shape of an apple. I love this apron. So I am going to put it on. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you. I'm going to put it on. If you're watching, I love it. I use it all the time. So it comes with a nice handy, I don't know what it's called, but it's used to pick up hot pots, hot items. But yeah, it comes with this. You stick it in your pocket, or I can put it next to my pot. So let's get started. Again, hope you had a beautiful, hope your weekend is going well. And I'm going to get started with the okra soup. Okra soup is one of my favorite soups, and it's a Nigerian dish. That okra is used for other dishes all around the world, but in particular, this particular soup is one of my favorite dishes, and my mom knows that. She loves cooking okra soup for me. Anytime I visit, she already knows. She said, "Okay, are you having okra soup this time?" I'll say, "Of course, Mom." But yeah, it's prepared in so many ways. Some people like it a little bit fried, some people like it steamed, some people like it incorporated with stew. I'm going to show you how I love mine. It's one of those soups or versions of soups that you feel your grandmother from way back when prepared it. So yes, that's how I'm going to prepare this soup, and I'm always looking forward to having it. Most of my friends that have tried it, they love it. They say, "You know what, Sarah, this soup is the bomb." So let's get started, shall we? And I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I have displayed. Okay, guys, hope you can see this. So let's start off with the main ingredient, and that is okra. I have it pre-cut. If you will notice, I'm going to post another video that I made prior to this one, and that's when I was harvesting the okra. So here I have it I already have it harvested, and I pre-cut it, and it is ready to go. But I have some that I haven't cut, so you can see how I cut my okra. I also have some more okra here, but this is blended, and there's a reason for that. I like my soup to be stretchy. I want the texture to be stretchy, spicy. It doesn't contribute to the spice. Of course, pepper does, but having it blended also adds to that extra, stretchy texture. So I'm going to combine these two in this way. Hope you can see that. What else do I have here? Something unique to this particular dish, or this particular recipe, is fresh mushrooms. It's optional in okra soup. I am including mushrooms in my okra soup because I love the added flavor. I love the added texture. As you're eating it, you get little bits and pieces of mushrooms. It's not just one note of okra. So I am adding oyster mushrooms, and they're beautiful, very fresh. I'm going to cut it up, and you see that as well. What else do I have? I like everything in one handy dandy tray here. So I've showed you the mushrooms, the okra. I also have oil. And some people, they're not big fans of big fan of palm oil any longer. But of course, palm oil in the original dish, there is palm oil. I'm going to use palm oil. I am going to use crayfish. Crayfish gives it that extra flavor. I'm going to use crayfish, but it's going to be blended, so it's not going to be whole, as you can see here. What else do we have here? I am also going to be using hot pepper, habanero peppers, or sometimes it is also called Scotch bonnet peppers, but it's extremely hot. And I'm sure you'll wonder why I'm using this much. I'm going to probably use only 3, but okra tends to eat up that hot, spicy flavor. The more you add, the more it eats up. So it's unlike other dishes where just half will be enough. Okra tends to consume pepper, so I'm going to use habanero peppers. I am also going to be using potash. It is called, in Nigeria, it is called akau. I am going to be using, it's used for other dishes as well. Some people don't like to use it. An alternative, if you don't find the rock salt or potash, it's also called rock salt. If you can't find it, guess what? You can use baking soda. Just a little teaspoon or half a teaspoon of baking soda, and that can replace this akau. Baking soda is used for baking, so of course you can use it. At least for me, I have tried it before. I've used baking soda to replace the akau or rock salt. And my favorite chicken bouillon, Knorr chicken bouillon. I will be using this as well to season my dish. Knorr chicken bouillon. Some people can, if you can't find this in your area, you can use this version. Knorr chicken is still the same thing. It works the same way. So hey, you can use this, but I will not be using this today. What else do we have? Of course, the main meat. I have pre-cut. I prepared this last night. I cut the meat, and this is goat meat. I cut it up last night, put it in the fridge, so now it's already ready to be cooked. So I have goat meat here already cut up. And of course, okra soup, you have to have some sort of dry fish, but I am using dry fish and stockfish. Stockfish has a very strong, it tastes really good. It's an acquired taste if you're not used to it, but in a lot of Nigerian dishes, stockfish is just splendid. So I'm going to use stockfish. I'm going to use dried catfish. Now my stockfish, some people, well, sometimes you need to boil the stockfish. Boil it till it's very soft, because it's usually very hard and it takes forever to boil. By the time you're done boiling, the smell has filled up your entire home. So what I do is the night before, when I know I'm going to be preparing stockfish, so the night before, I soak my stockfish in hot water. I soak it in hot water with a little bit of salt. And what it does is over time, throughout the night, the stockfish absorbs the water and it gets soft. So I don't have to pre-boil it before putting it into my meals. It's already soft. So this hasn't been boiled. I just soaked it, and then this morning washed it, cleaned it, and it's ready to go. I don't have to keep boiling and let the smell permeate the entire home. So that's how I prepare my stockfish before cooking, is just soaking it in hot water overnight. So that's stockfish and dry fish. So I think we've covered all. The palm oil, this is a container of palm oil. I just poured some out into a smaller bowl. So let's get started, shall we? I have, let me set this camera up a bit. Okay, I have a pot of boiling water on the stove, on the gas cooker already going. What I'm going to do, I hope you can see me, guys. I have about 1 cup to, no, about, this is about 3 cups of water in here. I am going to add the goat meat. The goat meat requires some time to cook. So I have to season it properly. I have to allow it cook because it has, some parts have the skin on it. The skin is actually what gives it the extra flavor and taste. So I'm going to start steaming this so that by the time we're done with the other ingredients, everything has been, everything becomes tender and it's ready to be incorporated into the soup. So I'm adding it into the pot. Gonna put this in the sink, and you don't want too much water, but goat meat takes a while. If you can see, it takes a while to cook, so it's going to absorb most of the water. Gonna put it on here and set the fire going on medium, and I'll begin to season. Actually, let's do this, shall we? I'm gonna bring the pot over here, season it, and then put it on the fire so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna add my chicken bouillon. Now this soup, like I told you, is prepared in so many different ways. Actually, the way my mom cooks it for me, she adds oil bean into it, and it's actually called okra oba. So oba is the local name in the Igbo dialect for oil bean. And you can look it up. If you don't know what oil bean is, check online. You see some pictures, or just ask me and I can send you more information or links to what oil bean is and what the plant looks like. So she adds oil bean, and that gives it, oh my gosh, like I could just eat the soup alone without adding anything else. I could just eat the soup alone. So I'm actually going to be adding all my chicken bouillon or nor cubes that I showed you earlier into the goat meat. And I'll show you why I have everything on a tray. There's a reason for that. At least what works for me. So I am adding all of the chicken bouillon, and of course, if you flavor your stock with the goat meat, if you flavor it well, your soup will taste good because everything goes into the soup. So I am adding the chicken bouillon. What else? I am going to add salt. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it, but I'm adding salt. Let me, so you can see that amount. I need it to be flavorful so that by the time I'm making my soup, I don't need to add that much seasoning. So I've added that. And if you notice, I'm not putting onions. Onions is used a lot to make stock, but I'm not using onions because onions, for some reason, tends to hinder the stretchy nature of the okra. If you've experienced that, let me know too as well. But for me, when I use onions, my soup doesn't stretch as much as I would like it, so I'm not using onions. So it's seasoned with that. I'm going to actually add one more thing. I'm going to add this. It's a Goya mixed seasoning.